Hello everyone, this is Beastly EO, and in today's video we're going to be talking about my predictions for the newest Death Battle that will be releasing on next Monday. And so the Death Battle will be between Thor from Marvel versus Vegeta from Dragon Ball Super. So we've seen these two fight in Death Battle before. Um, both have um, both have come back with newer powers. So really what this comes down to is, regardless of their regular abilities, because obviously Thor has his lightning ability, his flight with his hammer, or yeah, his wind abilities, his super strength in general, all of that is great. But we're really going to talk about both their final forms, because that's where it's really going to come down to in the end, because they both have their most powerful forms, and that's where it really needs to be known. So for Thor, it's called the Thor Force. So we have to compare the Thor Force to Odin Force, which in this, Odin was able to channel cosmic energies into blasts of concussive force, energy shields, flight, interdimensional transportation, capable of transporting the entire realm of Asgard to another location, heal the injuries of others, cast illusions, communicate with others across dimensional planes, and rearranging matter at a molecular level and increase his own physical size. So we imagine that this is the same thing, meaning Thor will be able to do the same things that Odin was able to do. Now, the issue with this is um, he can also put his abilities inside of um, weapons as well. He's done so with Thor's hammer, Beta Ray Bill's hammer, Stormbreaker, um, Eric Mason's mace, all of these things, right? So then he can actually use it to kind of beat people up even more. But the other issue, or the downside I should say, is the longer he uses it, the more likely he is to need to go into some sort of coma-like state. So what happens is every so often Odin has to enter what's called Odin sleep, which is a coma-like state to retain his mastery over his Odin power. And on occasion he's awoken prematurely, and because of that he can't use his powers accurately. Well, the other issue too is if he uses too much of his power, there is the chance that he will get too tired and actually go to sleep, and have the Odin sleep come on him without knowing it. So the same thing can happen to Thor. So it looks like Thor's biggest issue right now is going to be the fact that he's going to need to take out his opponent fast as possible before he goes into the Thor sleep, which I think is definitely a huge factor in this. So then we have Ultra Ego. Now Vegeta has all his regular attacks, which is his Ki Blasts, all variations of it, superhuman strength, speed, durability, all of these. Well, he's recently got this new ability called Ultra Ego. Now it's basically the power of destruction of the gods. So what this is it kind of gives him purple hair and kind of magenta colored eyes. His facial features turn almost into what looks like what happens when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3. So overall, when somebody's trained properly by the god of destruction, they gain the ability to use the powers of war. They can only utilize this form when they're in the right mindset to act as a destroyer, meaning they have to have the willingness to want to destroy everything in existence, right? So he's used this once before, a few times actually, and it's the strongest form Vegeta has ever been able to go in, and it changes its user's ki to become the same that of a god of destruction, and the user's power grows without limit through instinct as their fighting spirit increases. So when the transformation is in use, the user becomes exponentially more powerful than before and gains the ability to use the power of destruction in full. And the aura that is manifested in this opaque color, flame-like state can also destroy enemies' attacks on contact. Um, he also, whereas the there's a big difference between Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct is one's ability to just dodge and kind of let its body do its own thing. Ego actually dives somebody into their most rage or destructive forms inside their mind, which makes them go stronger. Now, the big issue with this is the user cannot let their battle lust take complete control over them, as it will raise their strength to astounding levels, but it will also allow them to have unnecessary levels of damage taken to them in the middle of battle, which can cause themselves to actually no longer transform because they were seriously damaged. But Vegeta has proven that he's been able to transform into that form when he was severely damaged and drained, which is a huge significance that could potentially come back to beat Thor. So the main weakness of this is the more heightened bloodlust that they have, the more damage they're able to dish out. But because of that, they're more, how do I put this? They're much more willing to take damage because of how powerful they are, and because of that, cause so much damage that could potentially knock them out. Now, this is very similar to what Vegeta has done in the past when he was possessed by Babidi, where he allowed himself to be taken over by bloodlust, and because of that, go beyond what he's capable of. So, the real question now becomes, which one's going to be stronger? You know, is Thor Force going to be strong enough and fast enough to take out Ultra Ego Vegeta before Ultra Ego Vegeta goes too powerful? And the other aspect, will Ultra Ego Vegeta allow too much damage to be done to him where he actually gets defeated too quickly? So all of these are factors. So I am going to go with all this being thought of, right? All this being kind of presented overall. I am going to go. This is tough. I am going to go with Vegeta. My reasoning behind it has to do with the fact that I think Vegeta will be able to outlast Thor before he goes into to make sure he goes into Thor sleep. He's just taken so much damage in the past, and because of that, able to break the limits of his body and continue to use forms that he shouldn't be able to use after all the damage he's been taking. Not to say that Thor is weak in any matter. I just feel like even with Thor Force, I feel like any attack that he throws at Vegeta, Vegeta will just be able to destroy it on impact with just his aura alone, and any destructive blast would necessarily not kill Thor right away, because he'd be able to kind of resist it a little bit because of his god abilities, I imagine. But I feel like all that energy will be used to do that, and because of that, not necessarily be able to go on the offensive too much. And because of that, Vegeta would then be able to have the upper hand and either kill him while in Thor Force, which I doubt, but be able to outlast him long enough that when he goes to Thor sleep, he'll be able to be killed easily. So that's why I'm going to go with Vegeta. Vegeta has taken out an opponent that was, you know, considered invincible, and he had to wait out the clock, and has been able to do so before. Granted, it was with Shadow, and Shadow was not nearly as strong as Thor, but also Vegeta has gone exponentially stronger than that. So I'm just going to stick with Vegeta. So, I have been wrong 3 times in a row. I really hope that I'm correct on this one, but I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, only because, let's be honest, apparently I've not done well. But I've done a lot of research on this, and I really, really, really think that Vegeta's going to win. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Thor Force is stronger than Ultra Ego? Let me know in the comments below. Or do you agree with me? Also let me know in the comments. As always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great day.